Rare have just announced the release date for the next update for Sea of Thieves Season 10. Safer Seas is coming to the game on December 7th, a new way to play the game in a private closed session with just a single crew. This new game mode may be controversial, but it's arriving nonetheless in just over a week. Rare also talked about some Skull of Siren Song and general adventure hot topics, such as the SCUTTLE exploit currently being used to gain an advantage in the new competitive voyage. They even talked about potential upcoming patches for things like loot shuffling coming in the future. Hello pirates, my name is Ellie and I post regular Sea of Thieves videos on this channel. If you want to stay up to date with the game, then remember to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when I put out a new video. I also stream on Twitch 3 days a week, so go and drop me a follow over there if you want to watch me play live. We also have a Discord over at ellieboop.com/Discord where we talk about Sea of Thieves and all things gaming. So Rare have just today released a news video which primarily focuses on the release of Safer Seas and the upcoming festive events they have planned, including a Christmas tree at Sanctuary Outpost. There will be a whole host of bone chiller and other festive themed cosmetics added to the Emporium store as well, and these will be available from December 7th. It looks like they'll also be doing an in-game event from the 18th to the 24th of December, and they've called it Gifts and Glory Weekend, and you'll get login bonuses of a festive flag and a cursed treasure voyage and a Skull of Destiny voyage. After this event, they're also holding their usual Grogmanay event in-game, which gives you the golden tankard as a login bonus or a new notch on your existing tankard if you've played around New Year's and got this tankard before. The Grogmanay event is running from the 30th of December until the 2nd of January. They also remind us all that this coming weekend, from the 2nd to the 4th of December, is the Season 10 Community Weekend, where you'll get login bonuses as well as the community multiplier for your in-game reputation and loot. So now the hot topics. The news video handed over to Drew Stevens, who goes on to talk about the upcoming fixes to the general adventure mode of the game, specifically talking about glitches and tricks that have been pretty hot topics since the removal of quick switching. Drew covers some existing fixes from the previous patch, including the fixes to the bugs which prevented players from handing skulls in to Briggsy and from unlocking chests. These have now been fixed. He also mentioned the changes to galleon and brig speeds when carrying the skull, and these changes were made to try and encourage chasing. However, he then goes on to talk about the meta that is emerging after a few weeks of the voyage being live in-game. So the big one, players scuttling for an advantageous position in this voyage, is going to be patched. Players were taking advantage of the respawn mechanic, which means that if you respawn while opted into the Skull of Siren Song voyage, you would always spawn within an island of the next location, whether that be a dig or the final hand-in location. This is going to be patched. So from the next update on December 7th, if you sink during a fight, you will still get back or spawn close enough to re-engage. In other words, if you're doing things legitimately, then you've not got anything to worry about. However, if you choose to scuttle your ship with the menu option, for example, when you're across the map, just so you can try and get closer to the hand-in island, then you will be spawned further away from the islands involved in the quest, because scuttling was always intended as a way to get your ship out of harm's way. I think originally a means of combating spawn camping. So now, if you scuttle your ship while you're opted into this quest, you will spawn further away, and hopefully this will remove that exploit. This change will be coming on the 7th of December with the next update and the release of Safer Seas. They didn't mention the spawning that's happening in general adventure elsewhere. It seems that if you sink in adventure mode at the moment, you spawn an island away regardless of whether you're partaking in the new voyage or not. It's making for some pretty spicy scenarios, but obviously this may change with this update. We'll have to wait and see. There were no big updates on the server stability, but they are still working on it and are still not happy with where things are. They did mention it and essentially said that they have resolved a lot of the surface level issues, but are now working on more significant, deeper issues which will take time to resolve. Then Drew went on to discuss potential future changes coming to the game. Since the removal of quick switching, there have been some other tricks and borderline exploits which have been being used freely in the game for a long time now, and Rare have officially taken a stance on a few of them. So ladder duking, where you're trying to board, drop off and get a cheeky shot in and then re-grab the ladder, is fully okay and within the intended mechanics of the game, so that will be staying. Loot shuffling, or sprint carrying, has been classed as an exploit because it circumvents the intentional slowing of your character movement while carrying an item, and so will be getting removed in a future update. That one I'm a little sad about, but in fairness, with the ping issues lately, it's been harder to do, so I do it much less than I used to. DPI glitching underwater, where players are intentionally changing things and spamming their mouse around to avoid being hit, is not okay, and this will be being fixed in a future update. Silent boarding, and however people are negating the sounds of boarding, is not okay and will also be being removed in a future update. This has been an ongoing issue for years, and it seems to keep coming back, but they're now focusing on it as they have said players should always get a small audio cue when someone boards their ship. And finally, sword lunging with elevated lunging is also not okay, as it goes against the intended movement for a character. And like the other things that Rare are not okay with, they will be patching this in a future update. Now, to be clear, this isn't regular sword lunging. Regular sword lunging is fine, and that's staying put. We're talking about where you can perform a maneuver that is well beyond the intended jump distance for a character, as well as some other movement glitches with sword lunging, and they will all be addressed. They didn't provide any dates or timelines for these things, but they essentially wanted us to know their stance on the hot topics of glitches and tricks being used by players. It's important to note that none of the above-mentioned glitches are bannable, but they are going to be fixed, so I wouldn't get too comfortable if you use any of the ones that are being patched out. It's great to see Rare actively looking at the meta of gameplay and focusing on areas that the community are talking about. I know since the removal of quick switching, a lot of the other glitches have been being talked about, so it's nice to see Rare really taking a stance here and being transparent with the community about their position on these things. Whether you agree with the changes or not, you can't deny that Rare have really taken a step up here and have started delivering great updates with focus on sandbox and how the adventure world works day to day. These updates with Drew remind me of the old updates with Joe and his whiteboard, and it really does feel like the devs are listening, and not only that, but there seems to be a renewed focus on their own game with no crossover distractions going on. Pure focus on Sea of Thieves and making it a better environment for us all. What do you think of the changes coming? Are you looking forward to safer seas? Let me know down in the comments. If you like the video, then please do leave a like and subscribe for more Sea of Thieves content. You can also follow my Twitch and watch me live 3 times a week, and if you want to chat Sea of Thieves and gaming, then join our Discord. The links are on screen and down in the comments. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the seas!